guys, welcome back to the podcast. Do what you love and love what you do. Real excited. I got my man all the way from Los Angeles. Just the first person I've been able to reach out to on that time, man. And that time difference it's a monster. It's a beast. Trying to coordinate schedules like that, but just a blessing to have my guy Cary on here. Cary, man, say what's up to the people out here, man. Excited to have you on the show.
Oh, man, peeps, I love you so much. Thank you so much for having me all the way from Los Angeles. Hey, I know we're bi-coastal right now, but I really appreciate your time. And I'm honored to be a part of what you guys do, just chasing dreams and execute them. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man, yeah. And, I just love to have people like you who's been there, it's in the trenches, it's grinding it out every day, man, and just spreading that message of hope at this point and chasing freedom, man, and as I want to share the story how we connected, man. I was on Instagram and, it has the recommended friends to follow. And I just started looking at your posts and it seemed real organic. So I was like, man, let me follow this guy. Then you had a podcast going and that was really powerful, man. I listened to maybe like 3 back-to-back podcasts.
Oh, wow.
And then
I'm honored, bro.
Yeah, man. The guy you had on there, got his name off the tip of my tongue. Yeah, but that one was really hit it home. And after that, man, I was like, man, I got to reach out to this guy and get Cary on the show because he has some knowledge that I need and that I know everybody needs. So, that's how we connected, brother. So I know I've been on your website. I kind of know your story, but just share with us, man, your background and, how you got to this point.
Yeah, well, first of all, again, Coach, thank you so much, man, and for allowing me to share. We all have our stories, and it's one thing to just say, hey, have our stories, but it's one thing to just really go out there and wear your heart on your sleeve and really take it to the next level. And that's just being out there, you know what I mean? Going out there and just telling your story unapologetically. And so that's what I started doing, bro. So, at age 7, I always knew that I had this gift to be in front of people and to share a message. And I didn't know exactly what that was, but that heart was tugging at me at such an early age. And so being out here in LA, especially being Asian American, bro, you have tough competition, you know what I mean? So you got to do what you got to do to make your parents proud and get good grades and stay out of trouble, which I did for the most part. And so right out of college, man, I got my first job at Fox Sports, cutting highlights for the Lakers and the Dodgers. And I wrote the script for the show. And so I was like, man, I'm living the dream.
Right.
Like making my parents proud. My girlfriend was proud at the time.
Right.
And but a year and a half in, I was only 21, and man, I just wasn't happy. And so I joined a rock band for 8 years.
Rock band.
Yeah, I was a rocker, bro. And just gracing the stage, you know what I mean? Just singing. And I thought that was my message. I thought that was my 7-year-old dream coming true. Mm-hmm. And I'm saying, wow, this is the gift that God gave me. I am meant to be here to share my message on stage and travel all around the world. So long story short, Coach, that dream was short-lived. And, within months, man, I was selling cable TV door to door. And it was during that moment, man, I was like, dang, dude, how can I be on stage in Hollywood at the biggest rock clubs, performing in front of hundreds and thousands of people, opening for these big acts, right?
Right.
People screaming our names and wanting to take our pictures, sign their CDs. And then yet here I am now going door to door with the door slamming on my face and people treating me like I have some sort of illness or something. And that was one of the all-time lows I had to face. And so it was during that time that I had to really, that low point was a gift, bro, because when you have so much pain, when you have so much confusion and not a good grip in life, that's when you really find out who you are.
Yeah, man. And man, that's powerful, bro. So explain to me, man, this self-mastery, self-ownership piece. I'm real interested in hearing more about that. And how do you teach someone maybe like us, like me, myself, and our listeners about that? Is it a step-by-step process? Is it, an action plan, or is it more mental? How does that work?
Yeah, man, you're not going to like this answer too much, but like our body is so unique like that. It's more than just a step-by-step plan. You know what I mean? Our minds, all of our stories, all of our experiences are so dang unique to each and every one of us that it's bigger than just a 10-step mastery process, right? However, given that though, people love structure, people love framework.
Right.
And as spiritual and as gifted as we are, it's not so much saying, hey, just be vulnerable and be transparent and do what you got to do and love yourself. So take 10 selfies and put it on Instagram. It's not like that anymore. You know what I mean? That's what we see on Instagram. That's what we see on Facebook. But it's really, at the end of the day, you have to ask yourself, and you have to understand that you, coach, me, myself, we are governed by our inner conversations.
Okay.
Right. And so no matter what people tell us, no matter what we read and say to ourselves, we are still going to act in accordance to what we tell ourselves inside. And so I could say, like, Coach Crane, you're dope, man. You're going to be this and this and that. But because of your experiences, because of the pains that you have deep within inside you, after we hang up off this call, you're still going to be doing stuff that's dependent on what your voice tells you. And so our gift now is to be able to truly come to a point where we could bring our inner conversations out loud. And own yourself means, look, if you don't own something, then more than likely that thing owns you. Right? So if you don't own your social media, that social media owns you.
Owns you, right.
How often do we wake up and without even giving time to ourselves, right? Without even just mastering our day, we turn over and start looking at our emails, like looking at how many likes we got. And that determines kind of like our day. We don't take time to celebrate our own life. We don't take time to see how beautiful things are. And yet we look at other people's highlight reels, and that's going to dictate how we see our own lives to start the day. So we are already at a point where we're insecure, right? We have to play like we have to keep keeping up with the Joneses. and it's a tough life, dude. It's already tough in itself, man. Right? But at the end of the day, are who or what is in control of your conversation? So right, what can you do? Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, I would say go deeper into that inner conversation with yourself. You know, for me, being that, you know, I'm very spiritual. My background, you know, is my faith in God and in Jesus Christ. So I definitely understand the spiritual piece. But I really am getting to know the other side, like you said, the inner conversations. You know, and in itself is growing my faith. You know, it's bringing me closer to God, because I know that's where my power source is coming from. Speak about that inner conversation piece, and what does that look like for maybe a beginner who say, hey, you know what, man, I'm still a pizza delivery man. You know, how do I start?
Sure. Well, whether you're a pizza delivery man or living in truth, that's a beautiful process, right? And so it's owning where you are now and understanding. And I want you to say to yourself right now, if we're talking about inner conversation, I want you to say, where I am right now is where I need to be. And understanding that, right? However, coach, for example, I want you to say to yourself right now, I am okay. I am happy with where I am.
I'm happy where I'm at right now.
Yeah, but I'm just too damn good to stay here.
But I'm just too damn good to stay here.
Right. And so whether you're living in truth, right? You're talking about living in truth. You're talking about your spirituality and having God as your source. See, this is where people start to get crazy over this, is that, yes, understandably so. I believe that too. Right. But sometimes what people believe God tells them to do, and they act on it, it comes a different outcome than what you had wanted it, right?
Right.
And so again, whether you think it's from God or not, you're still going to be altered by what you tell yourself. And so then you got to ask yourself in a Socratic way. They call these Socratic questions, like, why? So why am I thinking this way? Where is these doubts coming from? Right? And once you continue to keep digging further and further down, then you're able to reveal what the truth is, so that you can negate through all the lies. You could filter all the lies that you're telling yourself, so that you can act and live in the truth.
Yeah, man, that was dope right there. And you talk about your purpose and passion, man, and I can hear the passion in your voice. For me, like I told you earlier before we got on here, man, I'm blessed to be living in my passion and be able to do what I Slam the podcast, do what you love what you do. Some people might not be as fortunate. Some people are still out there searching. And for me, it wasn't so much, teachers, we don't get paid, and for me being young, it bothered me at the beginning. But at the end of the day, I said, hey, you know what? I can use my other gifts and talents, to make other income streams come. And money won't ever be a problem in my family. Again, that's one of my goals, that money won't never, ever be a problem. It won't ever break up my marriage. It won't ever break up a friendship. Money is just material. It's an additional resource that we have. And I believe that it can be used to impact more lives. Not to make my life so great, but to put me in a position where I can do things that I could change the lives of my students, change other people that are watching me. Like I said, I want to be the living example for the ordinary person who's working a 9-to-5 and living their dream. Also the other hours of the day and happy while doing it. And so that's my message, Cary. And talk about how you just finally, as I know in your bio, you talk about the age 33. That was your passion moment. What was the final straw? You was like, you know what, man, bump this, man. I'm about to go make it happen. What was that? What was that like?
Sure. So I appreciate you giving me this opportunity to explain that. But really, it was always going back to that vision that I had. It's beyond a dream. It's the vision, this mission that I was crystal clear about. And again, talking about tying that in with passion. When passion is a buzzword these days, that's ambiguous, right? It's very abstract now. It's very internal. It's very intrinsic. And so you have to define exactly what that means. Passion is what you're willing to suffer for. Passion is passion of the Christ, like Jesus Christ died for his passion.
Right.
And so oftentimes a lot of people say, man, I'm so passionate, man. I love the Virginia Cavaliers so much. I never miss a game. Right. But are you willing to die and suffer for the University of Virginia Cavaliers basketball team? I don't think so. And so it's really defining that. And I had that definition when I was 33 years old, realized that I had spent the first 33 years of my life thinking that I was living out my passion, but I was actually chasing stardom. I was chasing riches, right? I grew up watching Russell Simmons, P. Diddy, Jay-Z. And I was like, yo, I got to be like these guys. In order for me to be able to help my family out, to retire my parents, to live this glorious life that I felt I had to accomplish, is that it was through being a tycoon or a mogul, and so I did the rock star thing. I did the producer. I started clothing lines. I had a couple businesses on the side.
Right.
And I was working out until I fell flat on my face. It was during that moment where I heard Les Brown say, listen, man, I don't care how deeply you fall. If you can look up, then you can get up.
You could get up. You can look up, you can get up. I love when you say that, man.
Yeah. So it was at that trenches when I was married to my wife. We got married on the Oprah Winfrey show, Dawn of the Bride, which is awesome.
Yeah. Reading about that, man. Yeah. I'm going to ask you about that next, man. It don't look like you gave that show good reviews, man.
Now, you know what? The only thing that's been great was the 5-minute clip that they had saved. That's on YouTube. So they made that beautiful. That's all I could be thankful for. Had an amazing wedding. But man, I tell you what, after we got married, I realized that, wow, I had spent the first 33 years of my life trying to be the king until I met my mentor, Hendrix, from South Africa. And he's worked with Nelson Mandela. He's worked as a hostage negotiator, and he is a world executive coach right now. And I met with him earlier this morning because we're working on a business together right now. But it was him who truly kind of took me in and opened me up to the world of personal development and executive coaching and just being a mentor. And it was him who helped me realize that, wow, man, there's this character in the Bible named Samuel.
Yeah, I know Samuel.
Samuel was a kingmaker. He spent his entire life building kings of the generation. When he had explained to me who the kingmaker was, that's when I had my deepest aha moment, bro. That's when I realized at 7, God had this plan for me to build kings and queens of our next generation. So I said, wow, you know what? That's my mission. That was what this whole vision and dream of me being on this platform is not to go out there and be a rock star. It was not to be the next Asian Russell Simmons. It's to be Cary Hokama, the king and queen maker of our next generation, which we so desperately need, especially for the Asian American community and all the minority Americans right now in the U.S.
Yeah, man. Before we jump into that minority piece, your book, and Own Yourself. master your character, rise to any challenge, find time and inner peace. And what comes to my mind is overcoming basically fear and obstacles, and how to attack those things head on and just run through that brick wall, man. Where did that book come from? And, how can we find that book?
Yeah. Well, first and foremost, man, I mean, you could definitely find the book on Amazon. That's the best place to get it.
Okay.
Yeah. And however, I know that you mentioned fear is always going to be there, man. I still have fears every single day. I'm sure you do too, right? There's no way of letting fear disappear, right? But that's where you have to leverage and bring out your courage, because courage is acting in spite of fear.
Okay.
And cor in Latin, cor means heart.
Okay.
And age, the second part, courage, age means act. So despite the fears, we all have them. It's the courage. It's almost the act of your heart.
Right.
So I got this hat on right now. It's thou. Thou, archaically in the Bible, means you. But my passion is that you are the heart of us, the heart of us. And I'm going around now. My mission is to just travel around the world telling stories of amazing people doing inspiring things regardless of the circumstance. And so our mission is this, bro. And this is what you're doing too, is for all of us, whether we're minorities or we come from poorer places or in different circumstances. Yo, man, we have no excuse. It's a duty to live an inspiring life that's worth sharing regardless of your circumstances. And that's owning yourself. That's owning your life. That's owning who you are, right? Our battle is not the past. Our battle is not our heritage. It's not our mom or dad. Right. You know what I mean? It's definitely not the devil. You know what I'm saying? The battle is our hard work right now in order to elevate ourselves tomorrow.
So it's ourselves. We gotta look in the mirror, man, and own yourself, man. That accountability. As I teach and I coach my players, man. I always say, you do your job. You make sure you do your job, and as a team, we'll come together. If everybody's making sure we're doing our own job, we'll come together as a team. And that leads me to let's get into some serious stuff. I just want you to hit on it a little bit. You consider yourself a minority, correct?
Absolutely.
Good. So, of course, me being Black and you being Asian, with everything going on, it seems to me there's a divide between white and everybody else. How does that play a role when you build your business as an entrepreneur? Is it in the back of your mind, or are you even paying attention to it? How does that play a role in what you're doing and what you're trying to accomplish? Do you see the racial divide, or do you pay attention to it, or are you kind of trying to overlook it to just continue to go after your dreams and goals?
No, man, I don't overlook it. I definitely see it. I feel it. And it's, as much as I hate looking at the news, you can't avoid it. If you're online, you're going to run into what Trump said next, or how people are being affected here and there. But that gives us a better opportunity for a breakthrough, because pain is what allows us to truly break through. When you feel that tension is what gives us the opportunity to do something about it.
Right.
And so being that the tension in the United States is at an all-time high, that elevates more people like us who are driven by our passion to just really go out there and do our work. And that's hard work, man, but that's going to allow us to really get into the nitty-gritty, the heart of what we truly are and what we say we are.
Okay, and just follow up with that with your let's continue to talk about your entrepreneurship. You said you're doing another project. Do you in your coaching, are you coaching entrepreneurs, or are you just coaching personal development? How does your coaching come in effect when you're talking to maybe somebody who wants to start a business, but they can't afford to give up their 9-to-5? How are you telling them? What is your coaching style? What are you
Yeah, absolutely. So if you have, say, like a 9-to-5 job, master that job. I always used to say that, man, once I was up for a promotion, that's when you can move up to something else. I'm talking about even leaving the company, right? So be remembered as the guy who was the greatest of all time at what you did.
Okay.
If you're delivering pizza, be a master of delivering pizza. Make it so that you are literally the city's greatest pizza delivery man or woman. And so you know that intrinsically, you know that you've garnered that type of qualifications to move on to the next level, right?
Yeah.
And we're talking about passion. And have you ever noticed, Coach, man, like who have you ever known to say, yo, man, my passion is to become an NBA referee? Like, whoever said that? Nobody.
Yeah.
Right? Guess what, though, man? The highest paying NBA referees get paid 500 racks a year. Right? If you think about the average tenure of an NBA player is like 4 years.
Right.
Right? Can you imagine, like, if you just change your perspective and say, listen, man, I'm so passionate about basketball that I want to stay around the game of basketball and everything that has to do with the NBA community or basketball community for the rest of my life because I love it so much. You hear talk about people saying, like, dude, I love basketball. That's the only thing I could think of.
Right.
Right. And if you don't make it to the NBA, then what are you going to do? You're going to go work at Enterprise, rent a car, whatever, and you think that your dreams are done. Well, how many people have you ever thought about said, you know what, dude, I may have only gone to play D1 basketball and I couldn't make it to the NBA. But you know what? I'm going to study how I could be the best damn NBA referee in the world.
Yeah.
So that I can continue to transition, be upgraded to have the best seats in the house day in and day out for 82 games a year, get paid $500,000 a year and make a 20-year NBA career out of that.
And be around the game that
you say you're truly passionate about.
Right.
So if you are in a position when you're in a job, right, what kind of Socratic questions can you ask so that you are one day closer to your goal, to whatever you say your passion is? If you make that decision, Coach, a decision isn't just made one time.
Uh-huh.
If you say, yo, man, I want to become the greatest coach ever in the history, right?
Right.
What you do after we get off the phone, you have to understand that's going to get you closer or further from that ultimate goal that you have. If you think about Les Brown and Jim Rohn and Tony Robbins, you have to think, yo, will this guy take a nap for an hour right now? I don't think he is. It's Elon Musk taking a nap or going to the bars tonight. Nah, he's busy running SpaceX, Tesla, and Solar City. You know what I mean? Thinking about what I have to do.
I know exactly what you mean, man. I got two my best friends, and I know they're gonna hear this, but you know, the thing is, you know, we're all successful in our own ways, but I think we sometimes I understand there's a season, and I really believe like this is my season to be a better husband, be a better father, and grind. And so, you know, the stuff that we used to do and the stuff that go to games together and things like that, you know, I have to pass on some of those things because I understand it's a season, you know. And so I love those guys. I have a very small circle. Cary is small, brother. It's small, man.
And we're talking like right around here, right?
Yeah, man.
Yep.
And you know, me and my wife, I joke with the time my wife all the time, be like, look, it's just me and you.
Yep.
And so you know, we're in a position right now where, you know, her family lives in New York, my family's live in Texas. So we don't have the luxury of finding calling a babysitter or taking my son over to grandparents' house.
Yeah.
So everywhere I go, we gotta work it out. We gotta communicate. We make things work. But that's what I talk about. I believe I tell my boys, say, man, it's just a season, man. I said, when we get through this season, you know, I'm doing this for all of us. You know, my passion is different from theirs. You know, one is a career-driven person, very structured. Want to be a superintendent of a school district, which he's probably going to be. The other one is, you know, a counselor, wants to work. I'm more the entrepreneur type, and want to leave legacies and make sure that you know, all of our families are taken care of for the rest of our lives, because we never had that. I want to be the first generation millionaire in my family, Cary. So those are the goals I'm talking about. Reaching. What do you say to me if you're coaching me? You know, how do I deal with, you know, kind of, you know, them not understanding, you know, what I'm trying to accomplish. If me and you were sitting in a session right now, which I believe this is a session right now, how would you coach me through that?
Yeah, your friends are there. They've been your friends, and they'll always be your friends, right? And there's this real amazing line that I heard from Russell Simmons one time. Say, yo, you got to love everybody. Look, I love everybody, but I only hang with those who lift me up.
Mm.
And again, we don't have time. Like, for example, man, each day that we wake up, we're one day closer to our death, man.
Yeah.
Right? Every single day. And so knowing that you have a legacy to carry on, you understand like what your why is. It's to be able to become that millionaire, so you can become that king and that servant at the same time, right? You want to be a king and a servant to your wife and to your son and to your immediate family members. Dude, what's your legacy going to be, and what's it going to take to get there, right? And you can't worry about people feeling butthurt or left out or any of that anymore. You know what I'm saying? So you have one person to answer to, and you already know who that is, and you have a legacy to carry on. And so, again, it's what Les Brown always says. He says, do not let other people's opinions of you become your reality.
Mm.
Right? And again, it's more than just saying you got to be you, because I don't like that anymore, because we always hear people say that and they take it into a different context and they post it on social media. It's just like so like out of whack. You know what I mean?
Right.
I don't think being you and being vulnerable and being transparent means that you have to post more selfies of yourself or post what you ate, you know, but it's really like, it's the inner game. You know, there's this spectacular book called The Inner Game of Tennis. And legacy and greatness is what you do when no one else is watching.
No one else watching.
When no one's watching, man. So when people always see me for the first time in a long time, like, damn, Cary, you're ripped. Man, people don't understand the time I put in, you know, into the gym when no one's looking, when I don't want to put that last set in, but I bust my butt off while building my businesses. You know what I mean? And my wife and I have been fortunate enough to invest in a few companies this past year. We have our own little duplex now. And so just building off of that and understanding that what people think about us is no longer our business, because we are living our dream. We are living our vision, our mission, crystal clear mission, bro.
You lit, Cary. You lit. Man.
When you understand your mission, coach, you already know your mission. You already know what that is. And so all other decisions become way easier.
Man, powerful. Brother, man, I appreciate you coming on the show, man. Hey, real quick, man, here's the game. I'm going to give you a question. You only can respond with one-word answers.
Woo, that's hard, bro. That's hard.
All right. You ready?
I'm ready.
All right, book.
Legacy.
Food.
Woo. Give me a second. Beautiful.
All right. Mentor.
Needed.
Vacation.
Wondrous.
All right, man. Hey, man, I appreciate it, man. Definitely for our listeners, you could visit the website. I will put the links below the video and on the podcast. Cary also has a podcast as well. Definitely, take a listen to that. Look at his website, visit his website. Y'all go out and buy his book. Just super blessed, man, to have you on the show. Cary, leave us with your favorite quote, brother. And thanks a lot, man.
Absolutely. You want me to leave you to the best quote?
Yeah. What's your best quote, man?
There's a few, but one thing that comes off the top of my head right now is everything rises and falls on leadership. Oh yeah, man. I'm studying leadership now, brother. Hey, man, I appreciate it. Thanks again, man. Hey, be blessed out there. Same to you, Coach. I appreciate it.